In 1901, one industry controlled almost everything. It wasn't oil, it wasn't banking, it was the railroad. A handful of railroad companies decided who won, who lost, and who could even compete. Fast forward more than 120 years. Replace railroad tracks with AI chips. Replace train stations with cloud data centers. Replace freight with information. Suddenly, history starts looking very familiar. The question isn't whether artificial intelligence will change the world. It almost certainly will. The real question is something much bigger. Are we accidentally rebuilding one of history's most powerful monopolies? Every time you ask an AI to write an email, generate an image, summarize a document, or solve a difficult problem, an invisible supply chain comes to life. Most people think AI is just software. It isn't. Behind every chatbot sits billions of dollars worth of specialized computer chips, massive data centers stretching across entire campuses, power plants supplying enormous amounts of electricity, and cloud infrastructure owned by only a handful of companies. Training one cutting-edge AI model can cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Building a frontier AI company now requires extraordinary computing power, elite researchers, specialized hardware, and access to enormous data sets. That means the biggest companies naturally gain advantages that smaller companies often can't match. Sound familiar? It should, because economic history has seen this pattern before. Railroads, telecommunications, oil, electricity, the internet. Nearly every infrastructure revolution begins with innovation. Then, over time, many industries become concentrated around a small number of dominant players. Artificial intelligence may follow a similar path. But history also teaches something equally important. Nothing about that outcome is guaranteed. Competition, government policy, and future technological breakthroughs can all reshape the direction of an industry. To understand where AI could be heading, we first need to understand what happened to the railroads, because the similarities are far more surprising than most people realize. Think back to the California gold rush. Most people remember the miners searching rivers for gold, but very few remember who actually became wealthy. It wasn't usually the miners, it was the people selling the shovels. The railroads eventually became the ultimate shovel sellers. If you wanted to move grain, coal, steel, or even people, you had one realistic option: the railroad. And once a small number of companies controlled that infrastructure, they controlled access to the economy itself. Imagine opening a factory in 1890. You build the best product in the market. Customers love it. Demand keeps growing. Your future looks bright. Then something happens. The railroad charges your competitor half the shipping price. You lose. Not on quality, not on innovation, but on access. Now think about artificial intelligence. Today, the essential resource isn't railroad tracks, it's compute. Every advanced AI system depends on specialized processors, massive cloud infrastructure, huge datasets, reliable electricity, and enormous computing capacity. If only a small number of companies control those resources, they gain extraordinary influence over who gets to build the next generation of AI. Large companies can negotiate long-term computing contracts. They can build their own data centers. They can hire the world's best AI researchers. They can afford to train increasingly larger models. That doesn't mean innovation stops. Far from it. Small companies continue to create amazing ideas. New breakthroughs happen every year. But the starting line isn't always the same. By the late 19th century, public frustration with the railroads had reached a breaking point. The goal wasn't to eliminate railroads. The country still needed them. The goal was to prevent essential infrastructure from becoming an unfair bottleneck. Today, artificial intelligence is beginning to raise similar questions. Who should control advanced computing? Who should own the most powerful AI infrastructure? How transparent should AI systems be? How can governments encourage innovation without allowing markets to become impossible to compete in? Different countries are answering those questions in different ways. Some believe stronger regulation is necessary. Others believe moving faster than global competitors is the greater priority. Neither approach guarantees success. Both involve difficult trade-offs. History doesn't provide perfect answers, but it does reveal recurring patterns. Every major infrastructure revolution eventually forces society to rethink the rules. Railroads did, electricity did, telecommunications did, the internet did. Artificial intelligence may be following the same path. But here's the biggest difference. Railroads expanded over decades. Artificial intelligence evolves at astonishing speed. A software update can reach millions of people overnight. A new AI model can spread across industries in weeks, sometimes even days. That speed creates incredible opportunity. Businesses become more productive. Scientists solve problems faster. Students gain access to knowledge. Creative work becomes easier. Entire industries transform almost overnight. But speed can also concentrate advantages. Companies with the largest research teams, the biggest computing clusters, the deepest financial resources can improve their systems faster than everyone else. Every improvement attracts more users. More users generate more data. More data improves future models, and the cycle continues. This creates what economists often call a feedback loop. Success creates the conditions for even more success. History has seen loops like this before. But history also teaches another lesson. Leadership is never guaranteed forever. History warns us against assuming today's leaders will remain on top forever. The railroad giants once seemed untouchable, yet many eventually disappeared. Telecommunications monopolies evolved. Technology companies that once dominated entire industries were later replaced by new competitors. Across every era, leadership changes. Dominance can be incredibly powerful. Permanent dominance is surprisingly rare. That doesn't mean the companies leading artificial intelligence today will disappear. Many will continue shaping the future for years to come. But history suggests that no technological advantage lasts forever. New inventions appear, new competitors emerge, new business models rewrite the rules, and sometimes the next breakthrough comes from somewhere nobody expected. That's why the most important lesson isn't about predicting which company will win. It's about understanding how infrastructure shapes competition. The businesses people notice are often only the surface. Beneath them lies an invisible foundation. Railroads, electricity, telecommunications, the internet, cloud computing, artificial intelligence. Each became a platform that thousands of other businesses depended on. Control the platform, and you gain influence far beyond your own products. But history also reminds us that societies adapt, markets evolve, technology changes, competition returns in unexpected ways. The future of artificial intelligence is still being written. Governments will make new decisions, engineers will build new technologies, entrepreneurs will challenge today's leaders, consumers will decide which products deserve their trust. The story isn't over. In many ways, it's only beginning. So the next time you hear about a breakthrough AI model or another billion-dollar investment in computing infrastructure, don't just ask what the technology can do. Ask who owns the foundation beneath it. Because throughout history, the greatest fortunes were often built not by selling the product everyone wanted, but by owning the infrastructure everyone needed. The railroad tracks, the electrical grid, the internet, and now, perhaps, artificial intelligence. History doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it often rhymes. The better we understand those patterns, the better prepared we'll be for whatever comes next. If you enjoy exploring the hidden patterns behind technology, economics, and history, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Why It Fails, because the biggest stories shaping our future usually began hundreds of years ago.